Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Unscripted Violence Pro Wrestling Talk. It's me, Stagger Lee, and we are thrilled to have immense talent on our show today. The Bad Street Beauty, Miss Miranda Gordy. Miranda, thank you for coming on. How you
Uh,
doing?
I'm doing good. Thank y'all for having me. It's nice to be on the show finally.
Yes, I know it's been pushed back a couple of times, so I'm really happy to have you. Um,
Yeah.
I guess we'll start off with I think it's kind of a question that's pointless, but how you became involved in pro wrestling, um, with of course your dad being the legendary Bam Bam Terry Gordy, a guy who I grew up watching, and I was a Freebirds kid. I didn't like the Von Erichs very much. Uh, Besides that, what inspired you to get into the ring?
Um, I I don't know. Like what I always tell people is I really didn't grow up on wrestling. I grew up in it as far as like my family was a big part of it. Of course, my dad, and then I have my brother who was Jesse of Jesse and Festus. His name is Ray.
Yes, yes,
And then I have a cousin, Richard A. Slinger, who did a lot of stuff in All Japan when my dad was there, and then of course I had a great uncle who got my dad into wrestling, and so there's several members of my family that were wrestlers, and so it's just kind of always been there. Um, but from the time my dad passed until I was like 28-ish, like I really wasn't involved and I really didn't pay attention. And I don't know, I was just kind of getting closer to 30. And I was like, you know what? If I'm ever going to try this, now is the time, because 30 is kind of like the cutoff, which is 2025. Like that shouldn't, like, I feel better now than I do in my 20s, or than I did in
yeah.
my 20s. So I don't think we should put limits on anybody, but especially women on age. But I don't know. I just was like, you know what? If I ever want to do it, now's the time. I'm just gonna try it. And I had people over the years like find me on Facebook and tell me how much of a fan they were of my dad's, and they wanted to follow me because how happy he made them and stuff. And I would always get the suggestion that I should be a wrestler, and I was like, no, no, no. I love, my real passion is animals, just anything like. And so I had like a little farmstead at the time, and like that's kind of I was going to, and I was just like, you know what, maybe take a left turn and or and try something different and that I haven't before. And uh it's led me to a lot of great places and doing stuff that like I never even dreamed of doing. So I don't know, literally just taking that delusion and that pro wrestlers have, that drives them to be so great and drives them to like be successful at the business. I don't know, it hit me all of a sudden, I guess, and it worked out really well.
And you got the bug.
And I got the bug, and like, and I started off like just I started off managing. So like I wasn't fully immersed because I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna love this.
Right.
And so I was managing, and like I would learn just things to do that part. And one day I was in Denton, Texas, which is of course the home of the Von Erichs, and where I was living at the time in that area. And I had a spot where I got to like punch the bad guy in the middle of like this football stadium, right? There's like hundreds of people, and the crowd popped real big, and I'm like, this is freaking awesome. And so the guy I was managing at the time, I remember I got home from that show at like 3 a.m. and like I woke him up. I was like, hey, I think that I want to start training. Like I actually want to like see, and so it just went from there. And he found a friend, and we got to use his ring, and he got me started. And um, I actually started with it was Knight Davis who ran XCW, which was a promotion in Denton, Texas,
Yes.
in like the mid 2000s. And then I was blessed to be in the Texas scene at the same time as she's now known as Zoe Starks, but her
Yes.
name is
Yes.
Teresa. And then Tom Howard, who is a pretty well known trainer and had like an amazing career in Japan. And um, they got me started. Like, they helped me with bumps and like really, getting into it. And I'm like super thankful for them because they're like the nicest people ever. And they put up with me just like, like a baby deer just born, like getting my legs about it and stuff. And so they were super patient with me, and they taught me a lot and looked out for me and stuff. And so like I love that she is Zoe Starks on WWE now, because that's exactly what she deserves. She worked hard and is just like a good all around person. So, and then when I started doing matches, I actually got to train with Athena, or Ember Moon on
Yes.
WWE. I did that for about 6 months, and unfortunately, COVID took me away from Texas, and that kind of stopped. I think she's training again, but I moved, and so I no longer went to her. And
I think
yeah,
she's
that was.
still with AEW.
Yeah, she does. She's with AEW or ROH or somebody. But she also maybe helps at a school called MPX in Bedford, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So when she was injured, like before she left the WWE, she had an injury, and so she was able to use that time to like help, train people. And so I got lucky and caught her at the right time, I guess, or the wrong time.
That's awesome. And I noticed I was looking up your bio. You actually debuted on my birthday on March 17th.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, you mentioned some people that trained you that were from Japan, and I can see that in your style. You got that strong style, uh, a hard hitting style in the ring, much like your dad. Um, and I just noticed that about you. You're very old school with a new school touch, and I enjoy that about your wrestling.
Well, I appreciate that, and I really do try to emulate my dad, because why would you not? If you have the
Yeah.
opportunity to, use those moves, as best I can. I'm not a 6'5", 300-pound man, but if I can turn it into my own thing and using everything that he did, because everything he did was so great, like, of course I'm gonna do that. And my dad is known for the Freebirds, but I didn't grow up with the Freebirds. Now I grew up with the guys, but I
Yeah.
didn't. I grew up with Terry Gordy going to All Japan. I grew up with my dad tagging with like Stan Hansen and Doctor Death, and him leaving for several weeks and doing those tours. So that was my favorite. Like, that's what I grew up on.
Is is are do you or did you or do you study a lot of his matches?
But yeah, that's probably who I watch the most. Just, I guess I'm biased.
Yeah, well, I
um,
would be too.
but yeah, like I study him the most just to see like how he did things, because I think that he was literally born for wrestling. He, gave his whole life for it. Like, that's all he ever did. From 14 years old until he passed. Like, that was his job,
Yeah.
and so like he was one of the best to ever do it, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that. And so like that's why I'm here, kind of. And but yeah, like there's no one would deny how great he is, especially if it's someone that you need to watch, and copy and see how their feet or their punches or how they took or gave a move or their
I
timing, you
I
know.
was gonna mention that about his punches. I mean, when he landed every single one of those, and it just looked devastating every single time. Every time I'd watch him, and I used to think, man, I would not want to get hit by that guy.
Right.
You know, um, what what is a favorite match that you have that he did?
One of my favorites is definitely either him with probably the Kenta Kobashi All Japan in '93. Um, that for sure is one of my favorite matches, and it just has a part where Kobashi is just like going to town on his chest, and like my dad just comes out and just like face to face, and like the crowd's like, oh, how the Japanese are. And there's also one from All Japan, and it was against Masawa, and I want to say that it was in '91,
Okay,
but and my brother covered it on Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know if you saw
I
that
I
episode
watched
or not.
that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he covers that match of my dad and Masawa, like and you can see it on the tape. The arena was shaking. The Japanese fans were stomping and clapping so hard for this match that you see the camera start to shake because the whole arena just packed full of people is like stomping and cheering so hard, and they made it shake. Like
yeah,
that,
and
it was.
to get a Japanese crowd to do that is saying something,
Yeah.
because normally they're a clap, and that's the most you'll get out of them, and to really whip them up into a frenzy. Now that's just
Yeah. Oh, and that's why, like, I love the all Japan stuff. Like, I mean, not only is it hard hitting, and it seems so real. I mean, it was half real. Like,
yeah,
obviously, all the guys had a big toll put on their body. So it was like half a shoot, and because they put their heart and soul and everything into it. But yeah, just the crowd reaction, like, it's good storytelling and stuff. You can tell a lot, and there's no signs to get in the way. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like, it's beautiful. And so it's my favorite, and that's what I like to watch when I do tape study. And now I do watch Freebirds, of course. Like, if you're gonna watch anybody for promos, of
oh
course,
yeah,
my praise.
yeah.
Of course,
He's a pro.
Yeah, but my dad had some great promos too, because they were just so kind of off the wall and goofy but serious. So it's just fun to watch him. Because
I
I mean,
I
he's
just
a wrestler,
remember
but he's also bad.
I remember watching him also in his promos. It's like, just like I told you, I don't want to mess with that guy.
Right,
I don't want to piss him off. And
right.
I used to love when he'd get pissed off, because then you knew they had it coming to him. And I mean, that was his brilliance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Go ahead.
have you wrestled in Japan?
I did. I was so blessed to be able to wrestle in Japan um right
How
before
is
COVID.
how is the reception there for you?
Like, oh, I mean, great. Like, everyone, of course, it's a whole different culture, and everyone was super respectful, and they were, very excited to meet me, and I was very excited to meet them, and just kind of like see the places where he was. And they they wanted to show me, like, so it was just a totally immersive experience that I got to just be there and like I mean, also wrestle. But like, even if I could have just like been there, just as
Yeah.
maybe a tourist, like, I would have loved it. But I also was blessed enough to be able to wrestle twice. So one for Tokyo Championship Wrestling. I'm thankful for Jimmy Suzuki, who is actually a photographer for All Japan.
Okay.
I think he did other stuff, but he was just a well-known photographer, and he ran a promotion. He's the one that brought me to Japan, and I also got to, I wrestled for them, and then like a week later, I got to wrestle for DDT Pro, which is
And
now,
yeah,
yeah,
they're quite a they're a very different promotion, I would say. Very
Sure.
theatrical.
It was, and so the show that I was on, at least my match wasn't anything super crazy, but I was blessed to be able to do it once, and thankfully it was before COVID. Like I got back, and like 2 weeks later, the whole world was shut down, and
Yeah,
so
that's
I was
terrible.
like, what a blessing to do that before the uncertainty. And it was really my only goal in wrestling. I'm like, you know what? If I do anything in wrestling, I want to go to Japan. And I got it in the first like 6 months.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
Any plans of going back over there?
I would love to. Um,
I'd love to
yeah,
see it.
hopefully before I'm done for good, I can maybe do at least one or two more matches over there. I think that it would be received well, and I think that people would look forward to it and stuff, especially now that I've somewhat built a name for myself and I'm known. Like I was brand new then. Like I was just on the scene, like I said, like 6 months in, and now I've been somewhat established and I have a history. And so I think it would definitely be received a little better and I could do a better job at my matches because I just I was just so new, in a new world. And I think that was probably my favorite time in wrestling just because of what a task it was. Like, I'm new at wrestling, something that I never have done before or even thought about doing before. I'm in another country with a language barrier, like a whole different culture, just trying to like do this thing,
Right.
that I never imagined that I thought I'd do, and it went well. And so I don't know. For for it just being like so random and life changing, like I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. So
My wife and I, we want to go over there, and that's what we're afraid of is the language barrier. And what if we get lost? What happens then? Because it's my dream to go there and see some Japanese wrestling. Of course, I want to see sumo wrestling as well. But I'd love to hit it at the time to where they have a show at the Tokyo Dome and just be part of
right.
that.
If I can make it to another country, like I'm sure you could too. Like there's a lot of people willing to help. It's a culture of respect and stuff, and there's a lot of English. Like they definitely make sure that people can find their way. Like I could go into a gas station and get food or drinks and stuff, and I could find my way with a map, and so
Did you
yeah,
try?
you
Did,
probably
did you try
appreciate it.
any? Did you try any of the weird vending machine products?
Uh, I mean, I tried things that I didn't know what they were at first, but ended up being good.
Yeah.
I was like, this looks okay. I'm gonna try it. So, but yeah, that's just like even if it was bad, it's the experience of trying something, and you can say you did it. And I brought my daughter and some friends some cool stuff. They have like different flavored Kit Kats and sodas and stuff, and so I stocked up on that and brought it all home for them to try.
Way cool. Way cool. Now, you are wrestling. Are you wrestling primarily in the Texas area? Do you have certain promotions that you do more than others?
Um, right now I don't really have a home promotion. It's just because this past year I focused on doing stuff at home. Like I run a winery, distillery,
Oh
and a big
wow.
farm, and I've got animals and stuff. And so I really focused on that this year and put wrestling on the back burner. But Texas was where I started, and I've done a lot of shows in Texas, and I mean, whenever someone books me, I'll definitely be back. But right now, like I'm up in Kansas City, and so Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, Arkansas, like those places are kind of like where I'm at right now. Um, I do hope to. I do have some bookings in Indiana as well as Arizona in 2026.
Nice.
I'm sure I'll do, like I said, I'm sure I'll do a Texas. Uh, I'm trying to think of where else I might have coming up. Yeah, just a lot around the Midwest, honestly, and that's fine because then I can get home easy and whatnot. So
So
yeah,
you've mentioned some people that you've worked with. Who have been some of your favorite people to work with so far?
my favorite. I mean, I could just like,
I'm not trying to.
oh
I'm not trying to
yeah,
put you in the position where you say, "Oh,
no,
this
that's
person wasn't
okay.
good and this person
I
was."
could just, well, I've just met so many good people. It's hard to like. You can wrestle someone, 100 times, and some matches are good and some matches are men. Like so.
Yeah,
Uh, I don't know. I think I've just liked pretty much almost everyone that I've wrestled. Some people that I've wrestled a lot, and like I know that we can have a good match. Like me and Crystal White. Someone else that Nova Phoenix down in Texas. I think that's who I've wrestled the most.
okay.
uh, she is now in a tag team with a girl named Morgan. I can't think. I'm trying to think of who else I've wrestled a lot. Marty Bell. Um, I'm trying to think. Of course, Niles Plonk it's a guy. If you like intergender wrestling, I think I've wrestled him, but
Or
also a guy.
Plonka. Is it Plonka or Plonk?
Oh, Plonke.
Plonke. That, yeah,
Plonke.
Plonke. I
I
love that.
am a drunk. Um, yeah, Mr. Plonke. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. I just Skylar Slice. That's I've wrestled a lot in Oklahoma too. Of course, all the same people kind of go back and forth between Texas and Oklahoma, and um, yeah, those are probably some of the people that I've wrestled the most. So,
That's
but yeah, there's
awesome.
like I have such a fun time with everyone. So
So what you have a winery and a distillery. What do you distill?
so right now we make whiskey. We have corn
Nice.
whiskey, and we have several different flavors, and that's a pretty new project. Like it's only 3 years old. So it's not really taken off now. It does do well. Like people buy it constantly or whatever. But we're not in stores yet. The
Okay.
wine part has been in stores for years. Um and
What's
the
the name
whiskey's
of
good.
your wine?
The winery is called Windy Wine Company,
Okay.
and the winery distillery, it's all in one. So it's all one place.
Nice.
Yeah.
And uh, another one thing we have in common is our love for animals. My saying is four legs are better than two, and
Oh.
that's just how I feel. And it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter what kind of animal. I'm always into them. They can be the creepy crawly ones, the icky ones, just all of them. What kind of animals do you currently take care of?
My gosh. So in the house, I have one dog or a puppy, I guess, named Captain with a K, and I have two cats, which are Callie and Kiefer. And then so that's what I have, and then some fish in my, as you can see, I'm in my plant room. That's also my passion is plants. Um, and then out at the farm, I have two horses. I've got geese, ducks, chickens, turkeys, pigeons, guineas. I also have meat rabbits.
Nice.
We hope to have sheep and goat by the summer, by 2026. So we're just doing one thing at a time. And I guess though, so the winery is an agricultural winery, and it's on a farm. It's on
Okay.
a red Angus farm. So there's cows all around. I don't take care of the cows though, but I do love on them.
So you keep yourself quite busy. Um, so I can see why you've slowed down on the wrestling a bit. How do you balance everything out with wrestling?
um, so thankfully all the birds I have are pretty self-sufficient, and the system that we have, like the feed and the water and stuff like that in the area that we have them, it's pretty easy to, I guess, care for them the way that we have it set up. And thankfully, we have friends that are willing to help us if we do need it. And that's kind of what you need as a community, honestly. All of my friends are such blessings. Like, if I do have to go out of town or something, they're more than willing to come hang with the animals, because who doesn't want to hang out, right, with some
Yeah,
animals?
exactly.
But and it's easy, like, it's so it doesn't hardly take any time, and we have it down, like, even for the winter months when things get frozen over and stuff, we've got it all kind of figured out so that we don't have to be, like, breaking up ice in the winter, and so just simplifying it and getting it good and then moving on to the next livestock. But yeah, trying to do wrestling and animals is easy, but trying to wrestle and have a garden, which was really a big focus for me this summer,
Yes.
just growing a lot of my own food. That's what is a time killer. It just you got to weed constantly, or you got to care. Like, that's a constant, and so it's really hard to leave the house even for a day and a half to go do other stuff and grow your own food. So that's kind of what I focused on. Um, this year we're gonna make it a little more self-sufficient, and greenhouses are like where it's at, because you can customize it. And
Okay.
so it makes things easier to grow. Like, if it's too hot or windy, or someone's spraying and the spray is being drifted, like, the greenhouse protects it from everything. And if it gets too hot or too cold, you can adjust the temperatures and stuff. And so this year I'll have more greenhouses to work with. And so that should make it a little bit easier to maintain, and I can probably pick up some more bookings and stuff.
Right, and you can control the environment that the plants have, and they got timers and all types of stuff on that. So
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. Um,
Yeah. So it's literally just like, I don't want to say paying for convenience, but like, I like to invest my money back into things that'll make my life easier so that I can not be stuck with one thing. So some people like, designer clothes or buying high dollar horses. I just like to take care of animals and make life easy. So that's where I kind of invest my time and money, is to eventually make something monotonous. Like, if you can get it done quickly, like, that's where to invest.
you're living my dream.
I am blessed. I feel like I live a lot of people's dream, and like, I think about it every day. I'm like, I'm so blessed to just be where I'm at in life. And so I definitely don't ever forget that I am blessed.
That's awesome. And I'm gonna get back into wrestling here. Um, what is your view of the current situation that uh, uh, women's wrestling is in, or accomplishing right now, especially in the indies? What's your observation, and where do you see it going currently?
Well, I mean, I think it's always on the rise, and I think that's kind of the goal for most women wrestlers, is to just be seen as an equal to men. And I think we've made such long strides since, even when I was growing up with the Attitude Era in the
Yeah,
90s,
well,
right? So from there to now is such a huge leap, and women are seen as athletes, and they're seen as people that can, main event and be a draw. And you love to see it. And I think that, with the indies, you can be even more creative with that, and you can showcase that, a lot of the women can keep up with some of the guys.
yes,
And I mean this in, like, a disrespectful way, but we don't really have the Bruiser Brodies and the Terry Gordys or the Stan Hansens anymore. And there are a lot more. There's smaller guys. There's guys that are like my size or even smaller, and it's like, really, like, we can make this look, believable, like, and I
Yeah.
could keep with you. It would make no sense for me to face someone like The Undertaker or Braun Strowman or, like, I could never, that wouldn't make sense. But there's guys that are my size that could absolutely be believable, and I think that uh, people like that and they like to see that women can do that. And I think that it's important that we do that because anytime that I've done an intergender match, and there's been any little girl, they have, and I win, like, oh my gosh, I've never seen such excitement. Like, then they know, like, hey, this isn't something I can't do. This is something that's kind of inspiring, even if it is just entertainment. Like, it's a story, and you can, make that your own, motivation to do something yourself. Even if, like, say you're on collegiate wrestling or you want to join a male dominated sport, like you're just a girl in high school wanting to play basketball with the guys, like why not, so
Yes.
maybe if you're good enough, don't give up on that dream. Like, obviously it has to be fair. I'm not saying that you have to include women, but if there is a woman good enough, why not, you know
That's my
so
view exactly. It was like I remember, and my history is going to be way off on this, and NHL fans are going to be mad at me. I think it was Tampa Bay when they had the first female hockey player. She was a goalie. I was so for her, and she was amazing at what she did. And I'm right there with you. People who watch this cast know I'm a huge fan of intergender matchups. And another thing you mentioned is the size of competitors now. It's not about that anymore. And to me, that opens it up for such a more relatable product for your average fan to look into. Like, hey, this guy's my size and he's doing this, or this woman's doing this, and they actually, it seems like people relate a lot better than the I want to say it's kind of antiquated view of these Greek gods coming out all steroided out and you know bigger than life, all for the show. Um, are do you kind of agree with that? That's
yeah, no, I absolutely. So yes, they're like, and wrestlers, if they are serious about this, they should still act larger than life. They should actually act
yeah,
like a wrestler. Like, you're not just some guy on the streets. Like, you're a fighter, you're a wrestler. Like, I'm behind that too. But but yeah, if you're smaller than me and we meet on the streets, like, like
yeah.
there's
You got to
realness,
make
like,
it. You got to
like
have
you're
a bit of
my
believability.
yeah, so uh absolutely. I would not fight my dad. I would not wrestle my dad. It makes no sense. But would I wrestle a guy that's my size or smaller and they're in wrestling, like, no one's stopping them and they do a good job. Like, that's not what I mean at all. They're here. Like, why not make the best of it? Why not make something relatable, like you said? Like, this guy, he's my size. Another thing I get a lot is little girls who are built like me. Like, and nothing against it. Like, a lot of things we grew up with were real pretty women, long hair, boobs, butt, like real small. And not that I don't have those things, but that's just not my thing. Like, that's not what I showcase.
That's what
And
I
so,
like.
yeah.
And here's where my wife, she wanted me to ask you a question. She's really into ring gear on the females, and just a question of what inspires your ring gear and um, who designs it for you and everything.
So I decided to do trunks because of my dad. Like, I was like, you know
Yeah,
what? I don't really see women doing this. And, like, people recognize my dad from the trunks or whatever. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do trunks. Like, why not? And then I think the first person asked, like, well, what kind of top? And I'm like, just find a sports bra. Like, I have no idea, And so the guy was kind enough to just go find like a sports bra pattern, and it worked. Like, it fit, and I was like, that's pretty cool, and so like it covers up, but uh, there's enough there that like it's comfortable, and I started with a one piece and then I got in really good shape, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna beat myself up, I'm going to at least show my ass, So I got two piece, and that's where the sports bra came up or whatever. But yeah, that when I lost a bunch of weight and I started doing a bunch of abs, that's why I got the two piece. But I'm probably gonna go back to a one piece just to change it up, or pants. Like, um, I started with a guy named Patrick Berry. That's where the majority of my gear came from. But I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's doing well. Now I use Saffron gear out of San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
She does a good job. So she actually hit me up the other day and said she had some black snake skin, and I'm like, okay, we can come up with something cool for that.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so I like black. Like, I just like it anyway, and I think it looks good on everyone. And so it's one of my favorite, and as far as gear goes, is just black. And that's what my dad wore, is just like,
Yeah, black trunks.
Black trunks, right?
Dressing for this episode, my wife's like, "Well, what did Terry Gordy wear?" And I'm like, "I just remember him in black or red trunks." She's like, "Wear black and red then."
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of what my color scheme has been for the most part, has been black and red. Um, I decided to kind of branch out from that and do green because I love green and I think it looks really good on me. And so, Patrick, I was like, give me some green and gold. I want some shiny gold boots and I want something to look good. And he made probably my second favorite gear. I think my favorite gear is my Baton Bourgeois, which is like a maroon. So kind of reddish, like a maroon and gold.
Yeah,
And
nice.
yeah, I don't know what he did with that set, but like I feel like a superhero every time I wear it. So um it just looks classy. Like, it looks really cool, and so that's probably my favorite set, but then followed by the green for sure. Cuz it just kind of stands out. It's a bright green, and so
I think I saw you in that. I wanted to say blue, but yeah, it was the green that I
yeah.
saw.
Yeah. Need some
So
blue. Like, I haven't asked for blue yet, and I haven't tried that. There's a ton of colors I haven't tried. I have purple. I have a purple velvet set that I do like.
nice.
Yeah, so yeah, whenever I was getting it done all the time, I was just like, whatever, and so yeah, so I have some cute pieces, and yeah, I'll get some more.
Now, I really wasn't able to tell. I watched about 10 or 15 of your matches, but do you work more as a baby face or a heel? It seemed to me more baby face.
I think that um it really does depend, but I think that I've been baby faced more than anything. Just people, if I'm somewhere new, they just associate with me with my dad, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh," and so it's really hard to break away from that unless they just have like an established baby face, and then I'm the newcomer, and it's real easy. So, uh, yeah, I've probably been baby face more. Actually,
which do you prefer?
it depends.
It
It
depends.
depends. You know what? I really love being a heel, and I love the art of a good heel because it is art. Um, to make people hate you and to get the other person to be like the big, the star and the hero, and you know, so it's fun. It's fun being kind of evil sometimes. I
Yeah.
don't want to say evil, like a meanie. Um whatever. I like being the heel because it's just different. Like it's something that people usually don't want to be, at least like face to face. They don't want to be conniving and the bad guys. So it's fun to be something like that, like, not yourself. So
Yeah.
something maybe internally you're like, I just want to be mean to this person, and so you actually get to like do it. So
Well, growing up, I was always about the heels for some reason. Although I do remember hating some of the heels for the things they would do too. But
we're just like, yeah, there's no liking this person.
yeah, like this guy's a total jerk. I don't like him. But some of them
Yeah,
were a heel in a cool way, like the Tully Blanchards, or
yeah.
guys like that. They could pull it off, and you'd say, "Well, wow, he's really kind of cool," But he does all this asshole shit, And Miranda, so you're not going to be in any upcoming events for the rest of this month, I assume, and you said you're going to be wrestling next year.
I do have one more show this year, and it's December 27th in St. Joseph, Missouri for Mid States Wrestling. They do an annual Christmas show at the local armory,
Oh,
and this
nice.
is our third year to do it. And so, yeah, so I'm gonna do that as my last show for 2025, and then um, I'll probably start out with like maybe one or two a month, and then the summertime, or at least when it gets warmer and easier to travel, kind of add some more bookings and just make it special, make it things that I want to do, and most people are out there like really chasing it and grinding, and like I never wanted wrestling and my wrestling journey to be like that. And like I respect those people, like this is their passion, but I just want
Right.
this to be a fun experience for me. Like everything that I want to do with it. And just if I want to do a show, if I don't want to do a show, I don't want to do it, and not that that's ever a problem or anything, but just do it at my pace and go see people that I want to see and entertain the fans when I can, when I'm not focusing on other parts of my life.
I really like that about you. That's really cool. And I really want to thank you for taking the time out to come on my little indie podcast here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're a very genuine person, and um, it I I I really love what you do. I've been loving your matches, and you do quite nicely, and I think you're at a good balance for yourself.
Oh, thank you. I try to be. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket because I've owned chickens and it never works out right. I like having different, avenues in life that I can take, and I do like the balance. And like I said, some people put their heart and soul, but I feel like my dad already did that. And so what I get out of that, not to sound entitled, is to make this a fun thing and not a job.
Right.
Not something that I gotta struggle and grind and hustle and, step on heads to get ahead. It's either fun for me and it's positive and it's something that I can connect with the people that my dad got to connect with, and or I just don't want that part of it. And so that's it's all fun. And if it's not, then I don't want it. That's basically it.
I like that. We're gonna keep looking out for you everywhere you go, and if you could, if it's not posted or something, or you got any info that I can post on the Unscripted Violence group, I would love to do that and let people know where they can enjoy your work.
Okay. Yeah, if I get like a mid states, or if I'm kind of out maybe on your side of the country or something, for sure I'll post
De-
it.
Definitely let me know if you can come to Utah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll keep
Um,
bugging Princess Deathwish.
Yes, but bug him and see what he can do. He's getting some good names out here. Danhausen's going to come out. Doctor Redacted's going to come out. So He's doing
Nice.
good. Doing good things for the area. Um, well, just a few things I have to mention right here. Uh, we're semi sponsored by W Energy. I'm going to put a link on here. It's energy powder. They do a no jitter energy powder, which I really like. And you get 30% off with the code UVPODCAST. And they have a nice sampler pack. It's it's like $18 or something like that. I always recommend going with that. You get a shaker with it, 4 different samples, see which ones you like best. Um, and also uh, bring up the promotion XBRAND Wrestling. They have a couple of shows coming out that I am to make people aware of. This is how professional I am. I don't have it queued up. Okay, January 17th, X Brand will be doing a cave show inside an actual cave in Pennsylvania. And then April 17th, X Brand Wrestling are going to do an Are You Saved? That's in Las Vegas, Nevada. I think that's for WrestleMania weekend. So check them out. I'll leave a link for them. And you can get tickets by DMing them. And I'll put a link in there for those guys. Any advice for future wrestlers out there? Any words you'd like to give to them?
Yeah, don't ever quit your dream. Like, if this is what you want, um, don't ever let anything stand in the way, like, not even yourself. Like, and no matter, not just wrestlers, but anything you want in life, whether you want to become a millionaire or make some art or sing or whatever, like, if that's what you want to do, keep doing it, no matter if people, want to talk negative or want to try and hold you back. Like, just be confident and be yourself and be all about it.
It's great words of encouragement. And where can people see you or follow you?
I'm on all social medias that I know of, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, um, what I'm sure TikTok, Reddit, whatever. You can find me Miranda Gordy. I just keep it simple.
Okay.
That's my and you can probably just look me up on Google or any one of those places and find me. Cameo, I do cameos. So, yeah.
That that's an important thing to mention right there. If you want Miranda to say something special to somebody and give them a really nice surprise, they would be just as elated to speak with her as I am.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, and you can get a hold of me on Twitter. It's Wrestling Talk STG. Facebook, it's just simply Staggerly. Please join our group, Unscripted Violence Pro Wrestling Talk. Uh, Also, I was going to mention one other thing, and it slipped my mind. So, oh yeah, this show's produced by my wife, Mims Haven. She does a good job of producing us. Miranda, thank you once again for taking the time out and speaking with us. And hopefully, we can catch up with you again soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, just keep in touch. I'll keep you updated on where I'm going to be and, where your fans can find me.
All right, excellent. And until next time, everybody, remember to always, always, always keep wrestling in your heart.